Welcome to Arthritis at Home. My name is Ellen, and I'm the programs coordinator by day, and I also happen to be a yoga instructor. Thank you for joining me as we flow through the core, the side body, and we're also going to touch on the lower back. As you can see, what I have is a sturdy chair, and then I have my yoga mat laid out in front of me. All I ask here is something sturdy to sit on. As for the yoga mat, if you have carpet, that works just as well. If you happen to have some yoga blocks or a pillow that you can use as well to make it a little bit more comfortable, what I'm going to do is actually show you how to transition from seated to being on the mat. When you're ready to get started, I encourage you to find a nice tall seat in the chair. If not, press pause and you can always grab a few things that you need to get comfy. All right. So I've talked about this before, but ensure that you are grounding down in the chair. So I usually have my feet about hip width apart to ensure I'm nice and stable. And you can also see that my shoulders are directly aligned over my hips. Good, and my chest isn't hyperextended. It isn't caved in either. I have my chest kind of neutral. And then take my hands, I'm going to encourage you to wrap them around your back. So the back of my hands right now are in that nice little curve, what we call our lower back. That's a natural curve, right? Your spine is not flat or straight. It's long and it's curved because this unique shape actually allows us to move and do the movements of our everyday lives. So you want to keep that beautiful curve, but make sure it isn't going too much one way or too much the other. All right, so from this position, I'm actually going to encourage us to take a few deep breaths in. When you're ready, exhale to start. Emptying all the air. As you can tell, I'm exhaling through the mouth right now. And as you inhale, big deep breath in through the nose. I want you to think about filling the lower belly, filling the chest. Good. And then as you exhale, long sigh out through the mouth or through the nose. Again, that is your choice. Big breath in. Drop your shoulders down, lift your gaze, hold your breath for a moment at the top, and then exhale, full release. Good. Feeling your stomach actually contract slightly. Inhale. You can tell that I'm emphasizing the movement of my spine as I breathe. Allow your spine to move with those breaths in and with those breaths out. And we talked about before, right? As you exhale through the mouth, you're releasing here, releasing energy. If you inhale through the nose and then you exhale through the nose, you're going to find that it's a little bit easier to control that nice long breath. What we aim for is usually about 4 counts. So if you can breathe in for 4 and exhale for 4, that should be your aim. If you want to try this exercise again, pause the video and then go back for about a minute. And then you can try those breaths again. So when you are ready to move, what we're going to do here is we're going to start with a side body stretch. I'm going to place both hands on top of my thighs. I'm going to make sure my shoulders are nice and back. Maybe give them a few rolls just to start. Good. From here, I'm going to inhale, sweep my left arm overhead. You can mirror me. Good. And then I'm going to think about reaching up. And then exhale, reaching over. See how I'm not curling? I'm not trying to reach for the side wall. I'm literally reaching up and making this gorgeous crescent shape with my body. If your arm is covering your face, I'm going to ask you to roll your shoulder down and back, bring that nice long neck, drop that top shoulder away from you. For some extra challenge, feel free to look underneath. Good, the arm, beautiful, nice long neck. Inhale to rise up, exhale, sweep that hand all the way down. Inhale, switch arms. Grow 2 inches taller from me through the crown of the head, reach through the fingertips. Same thing, exhale, up and over, right? I'm not curling at all. I'm not trying to reach the side wall. I'm literally lifting up as high as I'll go and then finding a beautiful crescent shape. And then you're gonna find this beautiful side body stretch. Really reach down. Good. You're gonna find that it almost hits your hip a little bit, right? You can feel those muscles elongate. Allow them to do so. Good, inhale. Rise back up, exhale. Scoop it all the way down. Join me, inhale. We're gonna move a little bit faster with breath. Exhale, grow tall. And then find a little bit more of a curl. You're welcome to take your opposing hand, place it on kind of the side of your belly, and really feel the tension there. Good, inhale. Rise, exhale, swoop down. Other side, use your breath, inhale. Grow 2 inches taller, up and over. Welcome you to wrap your hand, really feel the tension. Good, inhale to rise, exhale to swoop down now. Other side, inhale. Grow tall, exhale, find space. Keeping that nice long neck. Feel free to look underneath the arm. Good, inhale to rise. Exhale to swoop down. Other side, inhale. Reaching through the fingertips, through the crown of your head. Beautiful. That's awesome. Inhale, rise. Flow with your breath. Exhale, swoop down. Good. So for our second exercise, I'm going to take a bit of a twist. This is a progression from the twist that we did in the previous session, our head, neck, upper back, and chest. We're going to go a little bit farther. I'm going to use the chair to help us. So what I'm going to do is I want you to try this with me to start. I want you to place one hand on the thigh and you're going to look over the opposite shoulder. What you're going to find is that your ribs stop moving, and that's a good thing. If you continue to crank your head, yes, your chin can go a little bit farther maybe, but you can tell that that twist is a little bit off. So come back center for me. Take your right hand towards the back of the chair. If you have a chair with no hand rest, grab the bottom of the chair. Take your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Very good. Inhale. And as you exhale, imagine that you're wringing out a towel. You're going to maintain the length in your spine. Beautiful. You'll feel this sensation through the core. Good. Try to relax into it. If you're like, okay, there's a lot of tension through those muscles in my back, through the muscles in my core, try to breathe into it. Gentle to start. If you have more space, you're welcome to keep going. Try not to crank your neck. Good. Last breath in. And then as you exhale, come nice and center. Releasing. And then same thing. Let's try it on the other side to start. Just isolating our ribs. So what we're going to do is we're just going to turn just your ribs. Just your ribs are going to turn towards the left side. They don't go very far. Good. Now come back center. And I'm going to take my left hand to the back of my chair or to the bottom, outside bottom of my chair. Right hand's going to come the outside of my left knee. Inhale to grow tall. And as you exhale, I'm only looking at my side wall. I'm not looking all the way to the back of the room. And I can really feel that hugging of my ribs, right? You really want to hug your ribs in, ground your hips down, and then lift up through the crown of the spine. Imagine the shape of DNA, like a double helix, right? As you exhale, maybe you go a centimeter, a degree further into your twist. Maybe you stay right where you are, you just get a little bit more comfortable. Finding a sense of ease here, and then exhale, slowly coming all the way back center. Then try it one more time on each side. I'm going to start, left hand goes the outside of the right thigh. I'm going to grow tall as I inhale. As I exhale, really getting into my twist. If possible, I'm going to ask you to keep your sit bones grounded into your chair. If you find that one butt cheek, right, one of your glutes lifts off, I want you to ground it down. Last breath in. Exhale. Keeping in mind where our hips are, let's try the other side one last time. Hand comes to the outside, left hand comes to the back of the chair. Inhale to grow tall. Exhale. Really rotating just through our upper back, grounding our hips down. Two equal and opposing forces, right? My ribs want to rotate, my hips want to stay down, and then I get this beautiful twist. And I slowly, slowly release. So in yogic philosophy, they believe that twists, the movement of twisting, is detoxifying. And it's almost like energetic hygiene, you can say. So in yogic philosophy, that's your fun fact of the day. All right, we're gonna add in one more movement here. I really want us to think about where our pelvis is. We just talked about where our sit bones are, really thinking about where your pelvis is now. Hands are going to start on the thighs. I'm going to ask you to sit tall and then think about starting with the chin. Chin is going to tuck down towards the chest. Chest is going to move back. This is similar again to the movement that we did previously. Think about pushing your shoulder blades to the back of the room. Then you can feel your hip bones or sit bones roll under as you press your lower back and you make a dome shape. So if someone were to look at me from the side, I look like a dome. My entire body looks like a dome. Good. As you inhale, think about grounding your sit bones down first, then slowly bringing your belly up, slowly bringing your chest up, slowly bringing your gaze, and the last thing to lift is your chin, just like that. As you inhale, and then as you exhale, curve all the way back. Allow your hands to slide forward, gentle rounding through the upper back, the mid back, the low back. And then when we want to rise up, ground the hips down, take a deep breath forward. Start with the pelvis as you lift the pelvis forward, belly, good chest, good gaze, and then chin is last thing to lift. 3 more of those for me. Exhale, send it all the way back. Maybe your movement becomes a little bit bigger, and you can tell I have short arms, so my fingers are just leaving the top of my thighs. Big inhale, draw the hands back, shoulders back, chest forward. 2 more. Maybe slowly move with your breath and remind yourself, acknowledge this is your body and your practice, and you do not need anyone's permission to move in a way that feels right to you. Good, coming all the way back to sit on our chair. Gorgeous. So from here, we're gonna activate our core, and then we're gonna make our way down towards our mat for our last few exercises. So to activate our core, this one's gonna be a funny one, and it's gonna look a lot easier than it actually is. So it's gonna be difficult to do properly. So what I'm gonna do right here is I'm going to think about shifting my weight into the balls of my feet, and my heels are going to hover. I'm not pressing my heels as high as I can, but my heels are gonna hover. I usually bring my feet a little bit closer to me. And then you can tell as you do that, what happens is your body's like, oh, I can't lean into my feet now, so I have to stand up tall. I gotta lift up a little bit higher. One of my favorite cues for activating the core is actually belt up. So if you imagine wearing a belt up, because what that does is it actually gets you to tuck your pelvis underneath you, and then from there you can truly lift up and engage. That's what I mean by engage the core. So tuck and then lift, and then see how the weight in your legs just got a little bit lighter. That's where we want to start. So from here, I'm going to start by putting my hands just on my chair, just as a little bit of a support. But we're going to lift our legs into a very, very, very small march, okay? A lot harder than you think. Shoulders are level. Gaze is straight forward. I'm going to start by lifting my left leg. Inhale. Good. Exhale. right leg now. Test it with me. Inhale. Focusing on tucking and lifting up through the crown of the head. Exhale. Just like that. Inhale. One leg comes up. Exhale. Other leg. Sorry, same leg comes down. Inhale up. Exhale down. If you find that you don't need your hands, I'm going to encourage you to put your hands on your belly. Inhale. Exhale. So the trick to this, really the hardest part, is to not move the body at all, right? As you engage that core. You're welcome to breathe in through your nose or through your mouth. Inhale to lift. Exhale to drop. Good. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. And you'll find that the slower that you do it, the harder it is. So if you really want to challenge yourself, hold it. Good. Then lower with your breath. Watch. Beautiful. Inhale. Lower with your breath. Awesome. And then our kind of last challenge here is try to lift both feet at the same time. Again, I'm going to encourage you to start by having your hands on the chair. And I actually can't physically lift my feet up. The only way I could do it is actually to lean back and lift my feet, and I don't want to do that at all. The goal is just to activate the core, trying to squeeze and lift everything. It's not actually get your feet off the ground. So I put my hands on the chair, and then as much as I can, for about 10 seconds, I'm going to think about lifting, trying to lift my feet off the ground. And you can find that the core activates right away. It's firing. Good. You place your hands on your belly. It's ready to go. Okay, we got 10 seconds here. 10. Try to lift those feet off. Try to imagine that they're light. 9. Good. 8. 7. Chest proud, shoulders back. You have 6. 5. 4. See if you can get maybe one pinky toe off the ground at least. Good. There you go. 3. 2. And 1. Exhale. Relax. So do you see how your body really heats up when you do those core exercises? And that's actually in yogic philosophy, the point of doing core exercises is to build and generate heat. So if you're turning a little bit red like I am, then you did it properly. Awesome. So we're going to take a quick transition onto the yoga mat. I'm going to take a moment to get my chair ready. Feel free to pause the video. I would encourage, if you do have yoga blocks, to go get them. If you have a pillow or a cushion, you can use to get that as well. I'm going to show you how I transition onto the ground. So I have my pillow. I'm going to place it nice and close to the chair. From here, I'm going to get nice and close to my chair, hinge my hips back, so I'm literally pushing my hips back. My chest will come forward. I'm going to place my hands on my chair. You can tell that my spine is nice and long. From here, I'm going to drop my knee that's farther away from you right now. So this is my left knee. I'm going to drop my left knee down. Okay. Onto, making sure it's nice and on the pillow. I can take my hand that's farther away, placing it down. From here, I'm going to slowly, using the help of the chair, roll onto my left hip. And then I'm in a nice seated position. So hopefully that was nice and smooth for you. If not, pause the video and then try it again with me. If you're in yoga class and you want to get on the mat and there's no chair nearby, you have a few options. So the number one is you take a yoga spot nice and close to the wall. You can use a wall to help you. Same mechanism. I know you may not have a pillow, so what you can also do is, find a space that's close to the wall and then double up your mat or triple up your mat. And give yourself a little bit of an extra cushion. And finally, an option is to actually use your lunge. So same mechanism that we just used. More or less, I'm hinging my hips back. I place both hands on my thighs. And I'm now going to move my left leg back. into a little bit of a lunge. So I'm nice and stable because I have both hands on my thighs. Good. From here, left hand hits the ground. Same thing. Now I'm going to slowly use my core strength. Drop on my left knee. From here, slowly bring my hip back. And then, once again, I'm on my yoga mat. Same mechanism. Dropping one knee and then putting my hand down, and then both hips come to that one side. So welcome now to a seated position on your yoga mat. I'm going to show you 2 ways to make this a little bit more comfy. So if you have yoga blocks available to you, whether in your home or in a studio, you're welcome to put them underneath your knees, and that gives them a little bit of support, and I find this extremely comfortable. It also allows you then a little bit of space to really sit on your sit bones and roll those shoulders back. Awesome. Option number 2, you can take your yoga mat, you're going to put it flat on the ground like so. Then you're going to take your sit bones and move your sit bones right onto that yoga mat. Sorry, yoga block. And then you can tell what happens is, because I have gravity and a little bit more space, it actually pushes on my knees. And then I get a little more space in my hips. And same thing, I'm allowed to sit a little bit taller now because I put my body in the right environment to not only be comfortable, but sit nice and tall. So those are 2 tips for you. All right, so let's now get into tabletop position, which is very common in yoga and not very friendly for our knees or our wrists. I'm going to give you a few modifications. So I'm just going to start by moving my yoga block away. I'm going to start with a clear mat here. So I realize in a yoga studio, a pillow may not be accessible at home. Feel free to put your pillow down and put your knees on your pillow when you're doing anything on your knees. When you're in a yoga studio, you may not have that. So I would suggest actually rolling up your mat a few times. This time, you can tell I'm going from the back end and I'm rolling up my mat. I have rolled it up twice, and that's, much more comfy. For our wrists and our fingers, when we come into this tabletop position, usually my shoulder is over my elbow, directly over my wrist, and we call that proper alignment. I'm going to use air quotes here. For those of us who do not find this very comfortable, I'm going to encourage you, bring your hands just a little bit forward. I'm about 3 or 4 inches forward. And then think about lifting your knuckles as you press the padding of each finger down so that your fingers are active. You can tell your entire body gets a little bit lighter. Good. So this is kind of a modified tabletop that you can use in your practice. Since our core is warmed up from the exercise before, let's add in a little bit more core. So I'm just going to turn down and look at the space directly between my hands. That's a rough estimate to help you keep a nice long spine. From here, try not to move your entire body. Imagine that your back is a table and it's not going to move because you have your favorite beverage on there. As you inhale, you're going to reach your right fingertips forward until they're almost floating on the mat. Good. Maybe your hand lifts off. Maybe it stays hovering. Maybe fingers are still pressed down or tented down, I should say. Slowly bring that right hand back. Let's try it on the left side. Inhale, lift, sneak, walk the left fingertips forward, ensuring that the rest of your body doesn't move, not even a single inch. Again, maybe your hand lifts off the mat, maybe fingers stay grounded down. Exhale, move back. Now, try this a little bit faster and then use your breath. Inhale, right arm reaches forward, sneak those fingertips forward, reach, keeping the body nice and stable. Exhale, draw that right hand back. Inhale, left hand comes forward. Maybe walk those fingertips. Good. Exhale, left hand comes back. Big breath in. If you want an extra challenge, I want you to reach out your fingertips, thumb towards the sky, and see if you can reach forward. Maybe your hand comes off fully,
You have the range of motion in your shoulders. You're welcome to lift your arm a little bit higher. Exhale. Come all the way down. Remember, the goal of this exercise is to find stability in the core. It's not to reach your hand as high as you possibly can. The goal of the exercise is not to move. Inhale, reach forward, exhale, come down. Same thing, inhale, reach forward, exhale. Bring that left hand down. Now we're going to use the same technique as we used before to sit on our mat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring both hips towards the left side as I swing my legs towards the right. Good. From here, I'm going to encourage everyone to lie down. So the easiest way to lie down is actually from the left, from your side body. I'm going to sneak my bottom hand, the one that's closer to your mat, down. And I'm going to use the upper hand almost like a cushion, right, as a lever and slowly drop myself down. From here, I'm going to sneak my backhand through. And then I get to slowly roll onto my mat. I do have to readjust a little bit. Awesome. So one of my favorite exercises, this is a twist that you do on your back. And the nice thing is you have gravity to help you. So step one, ensure that you are comfortable. If needed, right, feel free to grab a pillow to elevate your neck slightly. If you find that your lower back is lifted off, make sure that your feet are planted and your knees are bent, right? We don't want this huge arch in our back. That's why I have my knees nice and bent, feet flat on the floor. From here, option with the arms is just allow the arms to fall to the side. If you want to add in a bit of a chest stretch, you're welcome to take both arms out to the side like a cactus. So we call this cactus pose. From here, my knees are going to fall towards the left. I'm going to keep my gaze towards the sky. So that's the trickiest part. Try to keep your gaze towards the sky. Allow your knees to fall towards the left. They may not go all the way, and that's okay. You'll find that with time and with your breath, your knees fall a little bit farther. Good. Inhale, come all the way right back up. Plant those feet again, same thing. Other side, keep your gaze up towards the sky, knees fall towards the right. Remember, you're pivoting from your feet, but your feet aren't actually moving. Allow the knees to fall. You're gonna find a strange sensation that comes up your left hip, right, into your left side body. So all of those muscles are connected with different tendons and ligaments and fascia. Good, inhale, bring those knees up. So from here, option to bring your feet together. You're gonna glue your knees and glue your thighs, and then we're gonna allow the knees to fall over towards the left, and this time they're in a stacked position. Gaze can come with you, so that means my knees are pointed towards the left, so is my gaze. You want a little bit of a stretch through the neck. You're welcome to look into the opposite direction of your knees. So my knees are towards the left, I'm gonna look over my right shoulder. You'll find that this is a full body stretch. The longer you sit or you lie in it, the deeper the breaths you take, the more your body will settle into the stretch. Good, last breath here. As you exhale, slowly bring your knees all the way back center and you're on your back. Same thing, other side. Bring your feet together, glue your thighs together, magnetize those knees, and then with them hugging in, allow them fall over towards the right side of your body, or at least the right side of my body. Good, once again, you're welcome to look towards the ceiling. You're welcome to take your gaze with you. If you want a little bit of stretch for your neck, look in the opposite direction. The deeper the breaths you take, the more you'll find that there's that resistance, right? Because your body is in this shape and it's twisted, so it's actually harder to breathe. Good, and slowly bring your knees all the way back. We're going to roll onto the side of our body and we're going to come back to in a seated position. I'm going to reach my left arm towards the side. I'm going to use my right hand and place it in the same position that I did when I actually came to lie down. So I look like I'm in the exact same position. From here, that top leg reaches out and I'm going to press up with my arm on top and then slowly walk my body until I can cross my legs and sit comfortably. I'm going to scooch over. So with that, thank you everyone for joining me for this practice, and I hope that it gave you some tools to put in your toolbox for yoga class, for yoga at home. If you have any questions, please reach out to us in the email linked below. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day, your week, your month, your year, and check out all of our other episodes. Bye for now.